So how do you compose music every single day? Now, on my last video, I was talking about the 30-day stock music licensing challenge. This is a challenge that I embarked quite recently, and I was composing music for 30 days nonstop every single day. And to make things even more challenging for myself, I was mixing and mastering that same track and uploading it to a library that same day, all within a matter of probably 6 hours, really, from start to finish. Now, obviously, this is not sustainable like I was talking about in my last video. Most of us have responsibilities. We have jobs or we have families. In my case, I work from home, so I have kids, and I have a hectic life. And even though I don't have a 9 to 5, I do this full time. I also have an online business, and I pretty much just have to do many things. I have clients, I have a lot of things that I have to deal with. So I don't just make music anymore when it comes down to what I do on a day-to-day basis. So for me, it was a challenge in itself to just embark on doing one thing, like composing music every single day. That being said, I want to show you how you can do this and make it a personal challenge as a creative outlet for you, especially if you want to get started in music licensing. So the first thing that you need to acknowledge is that it's a mindset. We all have the same amount of hours within the day. I have the same amount of hours that you have. You have a different reality when it comes down to responsibilities and what you're doing, whether you are studying, whether you have work, whether you have a 9 to 5 family, or all of those things combined, right? Most of us have this in our plate, and we don't have really the time to do music or to do other things, right? But specifically when it comes down to music, we find all of these excuses that we just don't have the time. And if we do have the time, the result is not what we're happy with. We're never happy with what we produce. So producing music in such a quick pace, really fast every single day, could be really challenging. And the trick is to first acknowledge that it's a mindset. We do have the time to sit down. You need to sacrifice something though, right? You need to sacrifice something. Now, I'm not saying that you have to sacrifice time with your family or time at work or sleep for that matter, but something needs to be sacrificed. And in my case, was a matter of just finding small windows of opportunities or small windows of time within my day to do my music track. And I think that once you get into that mindset that I'm gonna do this no matter what, that's almost like half of the battle already won, or pretty much half of the goal already accomplished. Saying, I'm gonna compose a music track every single day no matter what's happening in my life. And I went through this challenge while there was a massive holiday here in Greece. It was Easter. Orthodox Easter here in Greece is kind of like a big deal. That meant that for 2 weeks I had the girls here at the house, which was a little bit of a challenge. There was no school. But once you get into the mindset that you're going to do this no matter what, that's half of the goal already achieved. The other part is to work faster and quicker than ever before. Whatever that means for you. If you want to work with a template, work with a template in your DAW. If you want to use samples that are really easy for you to use them. This is the best way to accomplish more. So for example, when I embarked on this journey, I was using free loops, Apple loops that come with my DAW, right? With Logic, that's my DAW of choice. And I was using other samples that I'm really familiarized with, simple stuff that I use on a regular basis. So I didn't waste any time on looking for sounds and samples. So that's something that really saved me a lot of time. So whether I was composing a jazz track or a rock track or a corporate track, I already used stuff that I was very familiarized with, and I didn't really waste time on trying out samples. So that saved a lot of time. The other thing is to maybe for me, I can only share my experience on composing music every single day. But for me, the joy of composing every single day was to not know what I was going to be making that day. All right. So I come from a background as a guitarist. Rock music, but I do a lot of acoustic music. This is something that I'm very good at. But the funny thing is that on this challenge, I went in a different direction, meaning that I was composing music tracks in different genres, and I tried to have fun, because otherwise I was going to get very bored if I was just composing acoustic music every single day. Something that it has already been proven to be good for me and for my catalog and all of this. But I didn't have music in different styles like hip hop or ambient music. So I made it a fun challenge for me to do every single day something new. And I embarked in different genres like electronic music, which to my surprise, they started to sell. I mean, go figure. And I found a lot of joy in making these electronic music tracks, house music, even a techno track I did. I did a couple of house tracks, which I've never done before. And these are the first house um, music tracks in that genre that I have on my catalog. Now, this is something that will keep you happy and looking forward to compose every single day. Now, we're talking about here music licensing, music for stock libraries. We're not talking here about creating music as an artist, where you need to have a genre, where you need to have a concept, right? If you're composing music in a genre that is rock music, you're not going to compose or make music for an album that one is going to be a rock track and then the next one is going to be a jazz track. You know, it doesn't go down very well usually with an audience like that. You know, if you're going to go and listen to AC/DC, you are expecting to listen to 10 tracks of AC/DC in that album. So you see where I'm going with it. But for music licensing, it's quite different, specifically for royalty-free libraries. Even though you have to be really good at one genre or at least focus on your strength, there comes a part in the journey as a composer to really embark to different genres and have fun with it. Because that's one of the joys of being a composer. Even though I really stress the importance of focusing on what you're good at, on your strength. But once you have done that already, then you can have joy and find that blueprint that you have used for your own genre. In my case, is music. That is starts with a guitar, right? Rock music, pop rock, acoustic music, like I've been mentioning. But once I have found that blueprint and have seen some success with certain styles of music, like acoustic music, that same blueprint I can bring it to other genres and really enjoy the creative process. And that's the whole fun of making music, even for royalty-free libraries. If you're not having fun while you're composing music for stock libraries, then you shouldn't do it. Even though I make this music for profit, I still enjoy the process of making this music. This is the part where a lot of composers miss the point of getting into this business of music licensing. They just feel that this cheesy pre-made music is just not enjoyable enough to make. And if that's what you feel, then that's exactly what you're going to get out of this. For me, it was so much joy. I got so much fun out of making this music track for the last 30 days when I was doing this challenge and, you know, embarking in different genres. I have to say that I got a new thirst for making music, because I did stop making music for some time. At least I haven't been making that much music for the last few years because I already have a lot of music out there. And I have kind of like been in the process of sharing here on the channel, like, hey, you don't need to make music. Once you have a certain amount of music online, then it truly becomes something passive. You know, I can take the foot off the gas, so to speak, and not create as much as I did back in the day. Because in the beginning, I was creating a lot of music. So I've been going through this journey of creating a lot of music in the beginning, like a lot. The same way that I did in this challenge for the last 30 days, until I reach a certain peak of success in terms of income, and then everything else started to change and really navigate within this marketplace with all the changes and everything. And I saw something, and I've done videos about this, by the way. I've done videos about what happens when you stop uploading for a whole year. I've done that. What happens when you don't upload any type of music to a library or to various libraries and see, do you still get sales? What happens, right? And I have done this kind of case study. So now I'm on the phase where I'm actually going the other way and say, like, what happens when you compose music every single day? What happens when you start uploading that same music track and you just become a writing machine? You literally become like a machine. And you know, the best process, the best thing that I learned from this process is that first you find joy. Second, you perform better with deadlines. And third, you want to make more of what you're already making. And this is just a natural process for us creative. Now, the last thing and the final thing that I want to share with you here when it comes down to writing music every single day is that never listen to your music the next day. Just let it go. Once you have uploaded that music track, if you're gonna do what I did with this challenge, which is compose, mix and master, and then upload that same day, uh, don't listen to it the next day. All right, this is a terrible mistake. I can tell you from experience that once you listen to the music tracks that you have worked on, and especially the ones that you have composed and uploaded, you will always feel unhappy with the result. There's many of the tracks from this 30-day challenge that I embarked on that I listened to the production. I said, like, yeah, the bass was too loud on that one. Yeah, that guitar didn't really need it to be there. I found many faults. Of course, they're not perfect, but they're out there. They are part of my catalog now, and they're making an income for me. So I will never listen to my music again, ever. Okay, once it's done and once it's uploaded, I don't need to listen to my own music. Sorry, it's not for me. Okay, and I know that this is true for other artists in different industry. I've heard of actors, very famous Hollywood actors, that they don't really see the films that they are taking part of, you know, and these are like big personalities, right? And that's really understandable. Why would you wanna listen to your own music? If you're an actor, why would you wanna go and watch your own film where you're like the main character? If you're writing a book, why will you read your own book? Right? You wrote it, you publish it. It's not for you really, right? Even though in the process of making it is for you and for your audience, obviously. But you don't need to listen to your music. This is a terrible mistake. A lot of composers just like to indulge and listen to the music track again and try to put it to the car test and check the mix in different environments and all of this nonsense. You know, just make the music, upload it, and let it go and move on to the next one. You will get better over time. I hope this video is helpful to you. I know it's a little bit philosophical when it comes down to writing music every single day, but I think that the excuse of time is one that we always put in the forefront, and we do have the time. So really getting into the right mindset, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, is the first step. And have fun with the process of making music, again, especially if you have limitations. Limitations are our friend, right? And if you have too much time and if you have too many samples, too many plugins at your disposal, that's your biggest enemy. Limitations is your friend. All of the music tracks that I compose within the 30-day stock music licensing challenge that I did, composing music every single day, I did it using free samples, free Apple loops, and samples that came with Logic. The plugins that I was using, they were all free. I was using Spitfire's Audio's Labs as well, free plugins, nothing fancy. And just to prove a point that you can make music, again, using stuff that you already have. You don't need to purchase a special plugin. You don't need to download some special samples. You can just create music with what you have in your hands. So getting rid of excuses and working with limitations is the best way to compose music every single day for 30 days. I hope this video finds you well, my friend. If you would like to learn about stock music and how to earn money with your music, all the links are below in the description. I'll see you in another video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Rock and roll, and here's to your success.